Hi everyone, it's Doug from Bjorn Territory, and in this episode I'm going to show you how to build some domicile shells in construction scatter terrain. Bit of a mouthful, but it's a nice quick build. I hope you like this one. Follow along if you want to have a go. Bit of foam core, bit of hardboard, some coffee stir sticks as always, and some squared dowel and a bit of string, and you're well away. So if you like this one, please follow along, share, even subscribe. That would be cool, and I'll show you how to build it. Catch you in a bit. Okay, starting with the build, using a couple of bases. I'm doing two L-shaped bases for the Domicile shell, just to kind of give it a bit of usage, variety. Kind of be good for scatter terrain, etc. I was just thinking about how I could use this terrain a little bit more open, a bit more versatile with my gameplay. So it's about 4 inches long, 4 inches long, about an inch wide, and all I'm using is a bit of hardboard, which is quite cool, quite quick, easy to cut. To give it a bit of character and a bit of structure, I'm going to use foam core card for most of the creation. And what I've done, I've cut 2 pieces of foam core that are about 3 inches long and about around an inch wide. And I'm just going to glue them together with hot glue. You could use PVA. Hot glue is nice and quick. Press them together. I'm going to make a series of these, maybe 4 or 5 of them. Just like the pillars, and I'm going to trim them a little bit thinner to use in a second. So I'm just cutting some foam core. It's about 3 inches tall and about 2 inches wide-ish. Depends on how big you want your walls are. And these will sit between the pillars. Next bit is start to assemble. So a little bit of hot glue along the bottom edge of the pillar. Make sure it lines up with the edge of your base. Then what I'm going to do, I've got a thinner piece that's only one bit of foam core wide. I'm going to glue the side and the edge, and that's going to glue in the middle of the upright post and down the centre of the base. So I'll move a bit closer, you can see, right, like that. And then another pillar here at the end. So again, the bottom, and then glue the side. Slide it in place. Right, a good basic structure done. So we've got a bit of depth to the build. I'm using some coffee stir sticks, a bit of glue, and against the pillar. Just gives a bit of relief to the flat surface. And I do it on both sides so it matches. Line it up, get a bit of a trim, and then get your glue in and attach it. As you notice, I didn't put a extra bit of coffee stir stick there because it's another piece of wall that's going to go in this gap here. Just make sure it's butted against the last pillar and flat against the base. Okay, next bit. What I like about the Games Workshop new terrain for Age of Sigmar is the storytelling bit of it all. So you've got the Domicile shell that they've got under construction, and it'd be really cool, I thought, if I could build one of those pulley systems that they've got lifting up the pillars into position. So as I've got a shed load of dowels, square dowels that I've used in previous builds, and lots of off-cut pieces, I thought it would work quite easily. So I'm going to build it flat first on the ground and then assemble it against the side afterwards once I've painted it. So I'm going to speed this up by using super glue. It's up to you what you use. So the first bit, I'm doing a bit of super glue at the top edge. Line up your cross beam for the pulley, and on the outside edge like that. Then, without getting stuck to your super glue, also you're going to do a cross beam underneath from here to here with an offcut. Just adapt the height that you need. it in. Now, what I'm going to do, whilst one is drying, I'm just going to cut off the edge. Give it a tapered edge. And carve knife. Now my glue is actually working flowy. I'm going to attach it to the base, like so, like that. I think that made sense. Pole stick, a bit taller than your wall. Get a cross beam going. Attach it with a support beam, so it looks like it physically actually could hold it. And don't get stuck to your work. To give it that support, I'm going to turn it this way around. I'm just going to taper the edge of another bit of wood. It's about an inch long, inch and a half, sorry. I'm going to take off the edge, stick it on like that. So I've got my tapered edge. Line it up to the bottom edges on the floor. Bit of glue. Bit of glue on this bit. Line up the bottom. Ooh. You have the support on the edge, which is the floor if it helps. The basic frame. So this piece, this frame, crane, whatever you want to call it, it's going to have a piece of foam core card like that, like a pillar, double size. And I'm going to get some thread, a bit of chain looking stuff, and attach it to the pillar so it looks like it's holding it. It's going to sit like that, there, that there, and it'll look like it's pulling it up. It'll look quite cool, quite pleased with that. So, a bigger one. So this time, 2 supports, just check the measurements, these are 3.5 inches again. Alright, and then I got a length that's a little bit longer, set across the top. Okay, so I'm going to use my grid, my cutting mat to help me line stuff up. Not quite to the top, because I'm going to show the bit of wood popping over the top edge. But you've got to try and keep it in line. Okay, that's the beginning of the new frame. For this pulley system, just need to strengthen it by putting a few extra pieces in the corners. So I've cut taper edge on that edge, glue in place, and it looks quite cool. So a little bit of an update. We've got the first piece of wall that I showed you before with the frame, crane. It's going to be there to lift it up. I'm going to paint those separately in a second, so that one's made. And there's the piece of pillar that's going to be lifted up. So I just need to get some thread and string that I'll use later to make it a little more textured and make it interesting. The bigger one, almost dry. There you go. Oh, still a bit drying, so I won't play with that too much. I'm going to lay it down over there, but that's a bigger one. Hold that for a second, and that's going to go on this smaller piece of terrain, the Domicile. Same principle as the other one. This time I've got a bit of the wall that's like under construction, and this will sit here. Okay, probably maybe on the inside. We'll see. Wherever it looks good, maybe like that. That's going to lift a pillar in place here. Looks quite cool. Next bit of Mod Podge with black acrylic paint, getting it slapped on, coating the whole lot. So with the Mod Podge and black acrylic, I'm literally going to coat everything. The bases, the walls, as well as the crane lifting bits that are made out of the dowel as well. And everything will be toughened, base coated, and stronger. And yeah, cool. So I'll catch you in a bit once I've painted this all sticky black. Right, now that the Mod Podge and black is dry, I'll come in with some white acrylic to base coat my walls in the style of the rest of my terrain. Make sure it's nice and even on all the parts of the wall. So for the wooden bits, just getting them coated in a brown paint and let those dry. Pick the shade of brown you like. I'm just matching all the other bits of wood I've got. Now that the base coat's done, it's time to add a bit of wash. I'm going to use a bit of Agrex Earthshade non-oil, and I'm just going to use it on the creases and the folds in the material, give a bit of depth on the walls and the posts. So whilst the washes are drying, I've been making the rope kind of attachments, make it a little bit more realistic. So I've done it on that one, and I thought I'd show you on this one. So all I've got is some string, rough twine looking stuff. These were wrapped 4 to 1. I just peeled it apart so there's separate thinner strands. I cut them down into, they're about 2.5 inches, I think. I'm just guessing, about 2.5 inches. So it wraps around the square dowel a couple of times. And what I do, bit of glue around the outside edge and on the front edge. Might be safer to use PVA, but it's a lot quicker using the fine super glue. Just wrap it around again, tuck in the extra long bits, fold them down. It starts to look right. I'll do another one on this bit. Bit of glue on either side, so that's what it's attached to. A little bit of string. Layer and pinch. Just be careful of the glue you're using. I'll start doing that on all the bindings around the edges. So to attach the posts to the pulley system, what I do about half a length of the string, wrap it around the post that's got glue on it. Next bit, basing. So I'm chucking my PVA on my base. Literally. A nice coat. Both of them. PVA on, now for the pot, and my Geek Gaming Scenic Space Ready Patchy Planes. So I put my base in, and I literally chuck it on. Tap off both ways, pretty decent. To one side, the next one. Base is done, boom. Next bit. To seal my bases, I'm using matte scenic sealant. Give it a good shake. I basically douse the base so all my basing materials stay where I want it to. Make it a bit more durable. Okay, well, I hope you like this video. I hope you've picked up some tips or tricks along the way. And yeah, thank you very much for watching the video. I'm loving the support I'm getting at the moment, so thank you. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. And I will catch you next week with another build. Take care. Bye.